This video was brought to you by Stormberg, a route planner, MisterGreen, Kempower and Marcus Bil. Yo, what's up? We are now sitting in the Volkswagen ID bus, and in this video I'm gonna talk about my impression of it after driving it for around 4 days. Try to give you guys as much detail as possible. Let me see, maybe I need some more light here. Is that good? Is that good? Wow, it becomes so bright in here. Ha! Look at that. Wait, what if I turn off this one so I only have the rear? Maybe that's better, because I wonder if it was actually a bit overwhelming. Too much light. Let me check here. Yeah, let's turn off this one. It's so bright in the back there, noise. It bounces back and then we get this perfect light. So yeah, how is this van? Where do I start, man? So it's it's like the icon from the 60s they brought back. I actually don't know because I'm a 79 boy, but yeah, they brought back the icon. I don't know what, actually I'm not sure what it was originally called, but this is at least the bus. Yeah, the ID bus. This is the buzzword of the year. And wait, what the heck keeps moving over there? I think there's some, yeah, sorry man, whatever, let's ignore it. But how is the car? Many people ask me many people ask me about how the ride is. And I gotta say, man, the ride is not like a typical van. Because a van, I've tried so different vans now over the years now. ENV 200, EQC, E-Space Tourer, E-Deliver 3, and E-Crafter. And all of them feels more like a truck. I don't know if you see it here, but I sit more like a typical sedan, right? Some of the vans, you sit more upright and the steering wheel is more tilted like horizontally, almost like a truck. But here, I don't know if this is intentional, but Volkswagen, at least they build it so that it feels more like, at least my impression at least is that it feels more like an SUV, or even, sometimes I forget that I'm driving a van. I feel like I'm driving the Volkswagen ID4, you know? You have the same user experience here with the screen, with the instrument cluster here, the seats, you have the captain's chairs there. But actually we have one armrest here, we also have another armrest over here. That's different than the ID3, ID4. And these are adjustable, like this. But it just rides and feels like an SUV crossover, almost like a sedan. Yeah, that's just crazy how they managed to do it. I don't know if this has anything to do with the long wheelbase, or fairly long wheelbase, almost 3 meter wheelbase, or what it is. But let me just set cruise. I'm gonna use this car has a travel assist. You guys saw initially. I try for the cars that it works with. I would try to use the auto steer on that twisty, semi-twisty B road, and even the travel assist managed to work there just fine. So that was superb, man. But yeah, now that we are on the motorway and we just, I think I have to go a little bit faster, and we just go over the bumps. First you hear that, okay, there's some road noise, all right, but I measure it to be very good. It's actually better than EQV. And that's even a Mercedes, a more expensive van than this one. And I noticed that, okay, I'm not touching the steering wheel. I'm just showing you guys that we can actually drive hands-free, and the car will drive by itself, and it stays very well within line. It doesn't do any weird shit. We can see also what happens when you come to merge. So this will also be like a practical road test to show you guys what happens when a car is when it comes in different situations. Oh, this is very well done. Some cars will cancel the auto steer or beep at you or something. This one managed to do it just fine. But yeah, so I noticed that for the German cars, well, let me get over there. Sorry, I keep interrupting myself. For the German cars, the suspension is the way I like it, which is that normally when you go over bumps, the suspension will allow the car to bounce once or twice only, and then it settles. But some other cars tend to bounce several times, like 3-4 times. And yeah, okay, maybe I'm trying to get a feel of it. Yeah, but I don't like the car to be too bouncy. I prefer having just the way the German cars are typically set. So what the heck? Now it looks like I'm hugging the left lane, but that's because the guy to the right speeded up. So let me brake a little bit, get him past me. Oh man, did I ever complain about bad Norwegian drivers? No. Okay, let me just stay behind him. So I don't know how they tune it, but at least I like the ride of the ID bus. So what else is it? Yeah, when it comes to noise, like I initially mentioned, this car, sorry, if I keep saying car, I mean the van, but this van even has 21-inch tires, summer tires. So the front is, I don't remember the exact dimension, but 45 profile, 45/21 in the front, and the rear is 40 for 21, because the rear is actually wider. So this is staggered. And I guess if you want lower noise, you can go with I guess 20 inch or 19 inch. I heard someone even went for 18 inch. Well, is that even legal? 18 inch? But I guess it's a van, you know, you're not supposed to have low profile tires. Well, I've seen some people with the Volkswagen Transporter have tiny, like, seems like 20 or 25 profile tires and 305 width at least, or twice the width of the BMW i3. Okay, let me get over here. I'm gonna get over to the bus lane, because remember, this is the ID bus after all. So of course, then you are allowed to drive on the bus lane. But yeah, so for noise, it is actually the quietest van I ever tested. The noisiest one was Maxus, yeah, Maxus e-Deliver. It was horrible. And then the second noisiest is actually ENV 200. Most people don't know it, but ENV 200 is extremely noisy. It's kind of weird because Leaf is not that noisy, but then why the heck is the ENV 200 so noisy? But okay, but then the direct competitor to this one should be more like the Citroën e-Space Tourer. So yeah, that one, I don't remember the noise levels, but I think it was actually not as good as this one. I have to double check my numbers, but this one, like I mentioned, it even beats the EQV, but that was with winter tires. But winter tires, traditionally, they are softer and then not so noisy as the summer tires in Norway. But I guess if you live in a country with smooth asphalt, then no big deal, because I tend to hear some road noise from this car. You can hear it that when we go from rough asphalt to smooth as, then you hear some significant difference. But in quiet cars like an EQS, you will hear almost no difference between rough asphalt and smooth asphalt. But also when it comes to wind noise, not too much wind noise. You know, when I did 1,000 kilometer challenge, I was in the 120 zone in Sweden, and I drove 120 plus VAT, and I even had headwind, and I didn't hear too much wind noise. So it's a German car after all, you know. They have to build it for Autobahn. But I have to list all this stuff because this is, I guess, information you guys are looking for. Because traditionally, or pretty much in general, all the vans I've tried, they tend to be maybe uncomfortable, maybe a little bit bouncy, you know, noisy, and so on. But it seems like Volkswagen, they nail it with the ID bus. They managed to make it be very comfortable. The seats, the ride, the handling, everything is just superb, man. I'm really surprised how this van is doing it. One thing I should mention that this one seems to have the same drivetrain as the other ID cars, which is 150 kilowatt motor, 204 horsepower. I don't remember the torque number. Was it 310 Newton meter torque? But the actual weight of this van is 2,600 kilograms, which is kind of heavy, right? But when we just drive it around, okay, it's a bit slippery now, but at lower speed, the ID bus feels quite nimble, quite zippy, you see? So if you drive in city traffic, you will feel like this is a quite spicy van, especially compared to the fossil cars. But when we get up to some speed on the motorway and I floor it, then I feel like it's missing that oomph that we typically have in other electric cars. So let me just show you here. Okay, I'm gonna floor it. Yeah, okay, we're getting there, kind of. But, so, you know, it feels a little bit slow, right? Only 204 horsepower to push 2,600 kilograms around. But actually, I tried to play around with some fossil cars. And it turns out that when I floor it, even with the ID bus, I can even outrun fossil cars. Well, it depends what kind of fossil car, but you know, some fossil car with 150 horsepower, this one beats it, no problemo. Oh, here I can show you, by the way, better. You can hear a little bit of rumbling, right? I'm gonna move over to this lane, which is very smooth. Yeah. So now you hear that it's way better. So if you live in, I don't know, Netherlands with smooth roads, then no problemo, or Denmark. Well, what is it? That was actually close to the headlights stretch I test. And headlights in this van is superb. it feels just like the ID3, ID4 headlights. Some people say, well, it's a van, so the headlights are further up and it's better. Well, I actually don't know why it would be better by having the headlights higher, because you also sit higher, right? So everything is just offset a little bit. But headlights, awesome. Adaptive headlights, they rotate, they have good spread, good strength, everything, you know. Check there. Charging speed. This car charges like a boss. It has a 77 kilowatt hour, 82 kilowatt hour gross capacity battery, but it's not the same as the one you find in the ID4, ID5. Even, okay, I was quite impressed with the ID5, which called the Enyaq Coupe charging, which is 175 kilowatt peak, but for a little bit. This one, this beast, takes 500 amp and it sucks in 189 kilowatt, and it has a flatter and nicer charging curve than the ID4, ID5. Well, maybe the ID5 Pro, the rear-wheel drive, has a flatter curve, the 135 kilowatt max thing. But I'm super impressed with the charging curve here. And I guess it's not that crazy, since we have 82 kilowatt hour battery and we are only charging at 190 kilowatt roughly, right? Tesla with similar size battery will be pumping in 250 kilowatt, and then some of the German cars, they will also be pumping around 200 kilowatt. So it's not really mind-blowingly fast, but it is on par with what it should be, as long as you design the battery pack to have good cooling, even heat distribution and all that. And also I can reveal that in 1,000 kilometer challenge, this van did it in 10 hours and 30 minutes, only 10 minutes slower than Fat e-tron. But Fat e-tron and the Model X Raven was done in summer, in 20-25 degrees Celsius. I did this in some wet roads, some places it was pouring down. It was also somewhat cold, around 10-12 degrees Celsius, and it still managed to set that very good time. So I think in summer, this van will probably do it in around 10 hours, 10 hours, 20 minutes, which is very, very good. When you have something that can finish the 1,000 kilometer challenge in roughly 10 hours, that means that this car is a proper highway king. You can go long trips, no problem. And you don't have to charge every 100 kilometers. You can just, because it has a nice and flat charging curve, even at 80%, it was taking 80 kilowatt. You can just take your time with the family or whoever you're with, and charge it to 90% also. It goes relatively fast to 90%, even goes very fast to 100%. 45 minutes to charge to 100%. So, but does it mean that this car is perfect in every aspect? Well, not quite there. For example, the interior in the back doesn't feel nearly as nice and flexible and as the Mercedes EQV, but EQV is also more expensive. But I feel like the EQV had better seat, it had better seat solution with table and stuff, more space, but it's bigger, but it's probably thirstier. Speaking of that, by the way, this ID bus, I forgot to mention it, is really, really efficient for a van, that is. Actually, in 1,000 kilometer challenge versus some other like SUVs, right? Like Hongqi, like Fat e-tron, like okay, maybe, but that is Hongqi and BYD Tang, and even the Volvo front-wheel drive Volvo. In similar driving condition, or even better driving conditions for those cars, the ID bus actually had lower consumption. It was 299 watt-hour per kilometer, and I was hammering it just like the other cars. So Volkswagen, they just put the MEB platform, I mean, they used the MEB platform here, and the drivetrain, like I've said so many times before, the drivetrain in the MEB platform is very efficient. So I haven't checked, I bet we have drum brakes in the rear also, but they managed to make the drivetrain so efficient that it can actually beat smaller cars, SUVs, crossovers in consumption. And it's all about efficiency versus charging speed versus range that makes this car more usable. Because if you compare, for example, against what other vans do we have? Well, we have the EQV, like I mentioned. It's bigger, probably thirstier. I haven't tested it in summer, but the EQV would probably be a better party car because it's bigger and nicer interior. But this one though has the efficiency and the speed and everything. What about the Stellantis cars, like well, actually I don't know, and then the Toyota ProAce, but ProAce I'm not sure if it comes in passenger version. I see ProAce mainly be used by carpenters and plumbers and those craftsmen. Maybe it's only in the cargo version, but at least the Citroën e-Space Tourer I tried, that one also actually had better interior. For example, in the bus I'm missing some HVAC settings for the rear. You don't have it. You can there's no even, do we have HVAC settings here even? No, it's just in the front. So and there was also, the e-Space Tourer also had more flexible. They had some rails in the back. You can push a seat. You have the table. You can rotate the seat and everything. Here it's more fixed, like it is now. That's it. It's almost like this bus, ID bus, is almost like a passenger car or an SUV, where the seats are just fixed there. Whereas many vans, you have the rail and you can fully configure how you want it to be. So in that regard, yes, the ID bus loses some points in flexibility versus some of the other competitors, but it then wins in other aspects, like I mentioned. For example, the Citroën e-Space Tourer, the charging is not that impressive. I mean, you can get it in 50 and 75 kilowatt-hour battery, and even the 75 kilowatt-hour battery doesn't charge that fast. It peaks at 100 kilowatt for a little bit, and then it drops to 75 kilowatt, and so on, right? So they haven't really updated that bigger battery to be charging faster. So, which means that if you're considering some kind of family car or road trip car, you want to go on a road trip across Europe or just across your own country, if you go for the Citroën e-Space Tourer, I think you will be spending a lot of time charging. Plus that the drivetrain of the e-Space Tourer or the Stellantis cars, I feel like they are not that great like this one. Because when I did 1000 kilometer challenge, I did not have any power limit, no rapid gate, no cold gate. It was charging consistently every time. I think I had 5 or 6 charging sessions, and it was just bam, 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 180, 190 kilowatt every time, no problem. The e-Space Tourer, actually right after you fast charge, you will get a power limit for driving. Yeah, you get like some semi-limp mode. What's up with that, right? So I think actually the Stellantis vans, they are the closest compared to this one. But I guess also people who consider ID bus, they might also have other cars. They might have, let's say, a Model X or a Neo ES8, and they consider more space. And when it comes to space, by the way, this van has a tit load. I said it, shitload of space. With the seats in the little bit forward position and only using the trunk, you can actually fit 30 banana boxes. That's crazy, man. 30 banana boxes is typically what you can fit in a whole SUV something, right? With everything folded. But when you fold the seats here, you get 49 banana boxes in here. So it's huge. It's so much space. It has the comfort, it has the space. What else is it? Software here, which is ID software. It has been improved. For example, now in the charging screen here, you can finally see charging in kilowatt. And then they also did some improvement here. So this car that I have now, it has the ID software version 3.1.0. So I feel actually that the Volkswagen, they have been updating the software more often than other car manufacturers. It's almost like every time I come back here, or back in one of the ID cars after 6 months and I test another variant, they have done some improvements in the software. Made some small tweaks here and there. Okay, it's still not perfect, it's still kind of laggy, but at least they are making those improvements that I feel like many other car manufacturers are not doing. What else should I say? Yeah, the whole, like, I've been driving around with lots of press cars over the years, and when I drive a brand spanking new EQS, for example, or Okay, many people don't even know what the heck the EQS is. It's like, oh, it's a sexy car. Oh, it's not, it's nice. But many people, they don't know what it is, or they don't care. But with the ID Bus, I had so many people turn their heads when they pass me, for example, or when I'm charging, or first I thought, that must be a follower. No, it's not a follower. There was some car passed me on the motorway. I was doing the 90 test, and then a woman was she was looking like this as he passed, and I saw the driver was also a woman. Women, they normally never watch my press cars until recently. Wow. So that's the whole thing, The ID Bus, Volkswagen didn't try to make it look aggressive or something. Like if you look at the BMW, or Audi, you see the aggressive grille or something. No, they made it cute, and they made it resemble the old one, okay? It doesn't look like maybe the concept like many people were hoping for. Oh shit, the Stau there. Have to avoid the Stau on the way back. But they managed to make it look nice and cute, I guess, but still made it efficient and practical. And yeah, I should mention, by the way, that there's still some hard plastic many places here. So if you're allergic to hard plastic, then maybe ID Bus is not for you. Then actually, I think the Stellantis brands or the the EQV would be better. But somehow, I still like this bus, even though the other cars I mentioned, the other vans I rather mentioned, they are better in the interior. It's just that the interior looks cool and modern. Maybe not always as practical. For example, I'm missing 12-watt outlet in the front here. What the heck, man? There should be like a Schuko outlet here, but there is no Schuko outlet. But just that they managed to style it, and I can show you maybe if I turn off the lights. Yeah, like the lights here at night and so on. Looks nice, man. It looks awesome. Okay, how do I turn it back to this one? Okay, yeah. So what else should I say? I think I pretty much cover everything. Yeah. Now we just have to try to get back. I'm actually going to drive back to Mølle and return this car tonight. So I'm done with the test. It was just a short one, but I will if everything goes as planned, I will take an ID Bus, maybe not this one, but an ID Bus to the Arctic Circle by the end of this year. Yes. That's going to be epic. Yeah. By the way, you can fold the seats to be completely flat in the back there. So, and again, this car has Adhakakopplung. I haven't checked how many kilograms you can pull, but it's nice that you have a trailer hitch. What else is it? I'm running out of words, but okay. So I guess if you're watching, you just want to know, how is this bus? Should you get one? Have you ordered one? If you order one, you're obviously interested in the bus. Keep it. Don't cancel the reservation. It's awesome. I haven't really found any major disadvantages with this van. Okay, one guy asked me, "Hey, can you roll down the window in the back here?" No, you can't. So I'm not sure how important that one is. And also, I'm missing some air vents in the back. If I remember correctly, at least the Mercedes has it. I don't remember the Stellantis vans. I believe they should also have it, right? So, well, let me just do a little flip mode here. So, I'm missing some air vents here, maybe on the B pillar. Yeah, there's only some air vents under the seat. So, I actually wonder how cold it will be for the passenger, or if they will get enough airflow in the back there. Because when I was mounting the camera, now I felt like it was a little bit cold in the back. But I just turned on the car, so it wasn't fully heated up. So, but again, that needs to be tested. If you are concerned about that, you need to test it yourself, preferably when it's cold outside. See how it goes. But like I said, I haven't found any major disadvantage with this car. Normally, when I test other cars, if there is something like wrong or something, maybe not a fault, but more like it was designed like that, for example, what was it again? Yeah, like Niro. Niro EV I tried recently. Like some people, they were criticizing me, like, yeah, but you know, you that's basically an Aria advertisement, or you're Aria based biased. No, but I have to be honest that the Niro was just not. It was not up to date to today's cars. It was good when it came out 4 years ago, but Niro was charging too slow in today's standard, for example. And I don't remember. Yeah, Niro was also kind of noisy for today's standard. I have to go over here. I almost forgot. So, wait, I could have exited on the next one. Yeah, okay, whatever. We can take some, take some B roads and see how it goes. But with the ID bus, I haven't really found any big problems that like you know that could lead you into considering that, oh, maybe I should cancel a reservation because Teslabjorn found out that. Yeah. So. And then for people who consider buying it, maybe you just need more space, then yeah, check it out. The chances are that you're gonna like it, and you should try to drive one. Really, you will be super impressed. There were some speed bumps. Like it feels like a sedan or a crossover SUV. Really, it doesn't feel like a van. And okay, what do you have against vans then? Well, I don't have anything against vans, but I just, in general, I feel like vans are not my type of car and not my type of comfort. I prefer sitting a little bit more laid back, not so upright and so on. So that's why. That's why. I'm just trying to give you guys my input, how it is, and you can decide for yourself if you like this or not. So yeah, let me see. We're almost there now. Unfortunately, I was not able to test, for example, Sunday driving, which is like the eco run. We drive slow, we try to turn off HVAC, but we kind of need at least 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, and it doesn't get that warm nowadays. But if I would do it, I can, I guess, assume based on the Copenhagen test I did, and also based on what I know about this car so far, is that it will probably go very far, and it will probably be very efficient, because the drivetrain on this van is very efficient, whereas okay, the drag, or actually the drag is not that bad, but the front, the CDA, the drag multiplied by the area might be big, so of course when you go fast it will be less efficient, but which means that if you kind of need to drive slow, if you're a Norwegian and you want to drive this on typical Norwegian roads where you have to drive slow, you will probably get way more than 400 kilometers. I'm guessing my gut feeling says 450 kilometers. Yeah, when you do that eco run, cruising at maximum 80 kilometers per hour on the speedo. So yeah, I think I'm done with my speech. Okay, more speed bumps. Yeah. Oh man, but I tried to look for it now. We also have these modes. Okay, when it comes to acceleration, let me just put it in sport mode. Yeah, it doesn't really go like a rocket, but it's still fast enough. But I also noticed, by the way, that comfort mode, when you have it in comfort mode versus when you have it in sport mode, you still get 150 kilowatt power. It's just that the throttle response changes a little bit, but comfort mode is still quite snappy. But when I go to individual here, click here. No, this and this. There's some settings for steering and drive and some. Wait, okay, I have to click on the individual to customize all this. Yeah. I haven't found that, what was it called again, the adaptive dampers. So the one that you have in ID 4, right? So I guess they are not adjustable, but the way it has been tuned like this works just fine. It just really superb how well it drives. So maybe I should also demonstrate. Maybe okay, let me check here. Okay, it's getting late. Let me do a little. Yeah. I'm gonna show you this. That okay, there's something moving over here, but that the van doesn't wag too much. Probably because we have a nice heavy battery on the bottom, but they made it so that it doesn't go like a boat. So maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, but I like it the way it's been set up. And I think actually for people who might previously own an SUV, let's say you have a Model X or a fat e-tron and you want something German and big, I think you're gonna love this car, this van, yeah. So yeah, and what is that guy on high beam? The folks, man. One thing I should note, point, yeah, I think that was a Tesla, a freaking noob. One thing I should point out is that I've seen it here. You have heated front windscreen. You can see those little heater elements. It doesn't bother me that much, especially, yeah. Oh yeah, one thing though, speaking of windscreen, the windscreen is so far away from me. Normally I can touch the windscreen from where I'm sitting, right? Here I can, yes, okay, I can barely touch the windscreen, but if that is critical for you, then maybe you should consider another van, because I don't know, man, the windscreen is so far away, and it made it slightly cumbersome for me to put any camera equipment on the windscreen. Yeah. But I guess it's why does that car look so dirty? Okay, maybe it's not. So that's, I guess, the only disadvantage I found with this ID bus. So yeah, oh, that's okay. I have to. There's Nyland the Falcon over there. Yeah. Oh no, it just looks. They just look dirty because of the rain. Yeah, there's Nyland the Falcon. The PTC heater in Nyland the Falcon is not. Well, it's not. Maybe this PTC. The heater is not working. Yes. So I brought EcoFlow with me, so I need to preheat the Falcon and run external heater. But yeah, so my test with ID Bus is done, and I just have to say, man, 2 thumbs up to ID Bus. It's no joke, really. This is the best van I ever tested. It doesn't score maximum on every aspect, like I mentioned, you know, interior-wise and stuff. But the whole overall package, the overall experience with the seat, with the interior, with everything here, just, yeah, Volkswagen then deserves the top score for me as a van, really. That's it. This van might even beat some smaller cars and sedans when it comes to all that stuff. Well, the last thing maybe I should mention is that I measured the acceleration with an empty van to be 9.65 seconds. It's supposed to be a little bit over 10 seconds according to spec, but that's probably taking account that you have some load in here. So yeah, that was my speech about the ID Bus. So wait. Yeah, okay, we're good. I think that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.